Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an early look at Salt. So right now, you're probably noticing that it's pretty friggin' dark. And that's because it's nighttime. Surprise! Yeah, I've been playing this for a little bit, on and off. Unfortunately, I can only play it for, 15-20 minutes at a time. The field of view on it is narrow, it's not adjustable yet. I've asked them, they are going to add an adjustable field of view, but unfortunately, it may not just be the field of view, but I know that does help me, but it does make me kind of ill. So this isn't going to be super long. So what can we see right now, even though it's dark? Well, we can see around us. We can see in the distance. You can kind of see some light pillars over there, and you can definitely see two light pillars over there. Those light pillars are actually campfires. And where there's fire, there's something. But we're going to actually make our own campfire. And in order to do that, you would open up your crafting menu. And you've got all of your crafting items over here. And this is your crafting interface. Now, how do we create a campfire? Well, who knows? There's no, selection here. When you start off... Went back into the crafting area. When you start off, you're given a couple books. You've got a strange journal, which kind of gives you a brief about the story. And then you've got this crafting journal, which gives you the basic recipes. It doesn't give you all of the recipes, but it gives you some of the basic ones. Also, your boats, and all that. So, I've already made a sword, I've made a bow, I've made arrows. I have not made any of the hardwood stuff. I've made a pick, and potion, cloth, all that fun stuff. But what we want is a campfire. So that's 3 logs, 2 flint. So it's really simple. You need logs and flint. You just put them in there, and it'll tell you what you can make with it. So I can make arrows with logs and flint, and I can make a campfire. So, we want to craft the campfire. Crafts the campfire. We now have a campfire in our inventory. Which, yes, it sounds kind of weird to have a fire in your inventory. And to place it, you just double click on it, and you can put it pretty much wherever you want. You can use Q and E to rotate. With the campfire, it's not that big of a deal. Getting a little bit of jumping around here, but still very, very early in its development cycle. So now that we've got a campfire, you've got this lovely pillar of light, which is, essentially just the smoke stream. But it allows you to see it in a good distance. Yeah, we can still see. Looks like there's 4 over there. So that's a place that I'm not going to be going to anytime soon. So what can the campfire do to you? Or do for you? Well, you can walk right through it. It doesn't cause you any harm, so you're not going to ignite. Although that might be something that they add in the future. That'd be cool. What you can do is you can choose to rest or save. You can technically save anywhere, but I have a feeling they might be changing it or adding a hardcore mode where you can only save at campfires. That would be kind of neat. So I'm going to rest and try to make it daytime. So, well, close. It's a deer. Let's rest for another 2 hours. That way it's nice and day. There we go. There we go. We got some nice morning going. So this is kind of cool. You can adjust what time of day it is. It's basically like a weight. Now you cannot pick this up. All you can do is leave it and wait for it to burn out. It seems like it burns out after about a day and a half. So you can almost get 2 full nights out of it, I think. All of these islands, and that's what this is entirely island-based. They're all procedurally generated, all completely random. You never know what you're going to find on them. But they are persistent. They're based in a seed, so you can come back to the same island, and it will be more or less the same. I don't think that the islands themselves are actually saved. I thought I thought that was a bear for a second. I'm like, oh my god, did they add bears? A patch just came out like maybe 2 minutes ago. More like 5. And it added a whole bunch of new stuff. Added new water texture, added new fishing rods, and a bunch of other stuff. I didn't actually really look at the changelog. But as you can see, the world is fairly cartoony. It's almost a cel-shaded type deal. You know, it looks really, really, really cool. Really vibrant, nice background noises. Now, if only they could add some actual birds in here. That'd be nice. You know, you've got your water, and then you've got your weapons. So I've got a sword. Yeah. I've got a pick. Chop, chop. Now, with the pick, I'm going to go through kind of each tool that I have. The pick, unlike in Minecraft or other sandbox-based games, you can't dig the ground. There is no actual destructible terrain here. It's only certain objects that you can mine. So you can't mine a tree, and apparently I'm clipping through that one slightly. But you can whack the tree. And if it's a fruit-bearing tree, which this one is not, it will drop fruit. And you can pick that up and you can eat it. Like if you notice on the lower left, let's actually go into here. Down on the lower left, this green bar, the bigger one, that is actually my hunger meter, and I'm going to need to actually eat soon. The one above it is your endurance, so when you're sprinting, it reduces. And then it goes back when you stop. So eating actually helps you recover your hunger bar. The red bar on the right is, well, pretty obvious, that's your health. So weapon-wise, currently I just have a basic bow and some arrows, and a sword. Oh, you jerk. You know I can't hit you when you're moving. Alright, well, back to the pick. I was going to take on the deer, but he ran away. So, you see these rocks. There's a couple different types. This happens to be just the basic weak boulder. In order to take it out, you stand up to it, and you start picking at it. Now, there's 2 different ways you can pick. You can pick the way I've been, which is just the left mouse button, or you can do a right click, which is a much more powerful blow, but it takes your endurance. So now we've got loot. So we got coal and a stone block. So we just loot that. And that goes into our inventory for craftable stuff. So I've got some coal, I've got a bunch of rocks and stuff. Now, currently, as you saw, it just disappeared. It takes a while for the rocks to vanish. I'm not sure what that is, and to be honest, I don't actually care. It's probably going to be fixed later on. It's just a minor quirk. It happens. Alright, and there we go. This is how you get wood. As you wander around, you will find logs just kind of lying around, and when you pick them up, it'll tell you what you got. There's no visual difference right now between the 2 different types of logs, at least the 2 different types of logs that I'm aware of. There is the regular log. Let's go into our crafting stuff here. And then there's these hardwood logs. So you get these, I'm going to call them kind of elite items. So they're a little bit higher tier. So this hardwood log, anytime you get them with the white border, that means it's a higher tier item. So currently the only higher tier I have is the hardwood log. Don't really have anything spectacular. Although there is this hardstone, so I could make the hardstone arrows if I so desired. And speaking of arrows, let's pull out this guy. And the deer buggered off again. Stupid deer. Alright, well, let's take care of this boulder. Swing and a miss. Sometimes the hitting them is a little bit difficult. Sometimes you can hit them with the downstroke, but not the side stroke. It's kind of weird. Oh, and then this is actually something that I'd explored this island in the previous update, and this I don't recall being here. Same with that shack. That shack actually has a merchant, so I think that that's what another thing that they added. And in that merchant, I actually bought a fishing rod, which we'll get into soon. I haven't played with the fishing rod yet. Now, and there's music. One thing that I find really quite cool... Oh, and you can duck. You can crouch. So here we go. Oh! Two. Got him in two. Nice. So once you take out your deer, you can see my arrows are both in his rump, which is kind of weird. But when you go into it, you can get your deer meat, your deer pelt, deer guts, which is a new thing. It's a fishing item, and your arrows. So you get your arrows back. And if you shoot them into the ground, you can see them, barely, and you can pick them up. That arrow is too damaged to salvage. That's a thing that happens. It does happen, unfortunately. You can lose your arrows. But it's good. You don't actually consistently lose your arrows, which is delightful. So now, let's talk about the inventory and how you switch your tools. So right now, I'm just pressing 1. So as you can see, possibly just above the bow, it's a little hard to see on the bow, it almost looks like it's part of the curve, there's a 1. You can see it best when I hover over top of it. There's a 1 above. Same thing with the sword. You can see a bit better with the sword. You can actually have more than one item listed as 1. And all you do to set is just hover over top of it, and the 1 that's actually switch to the sword, or I guess switch to the bow. See the 1, you hover over top of it, you press 1 and it disappears. And you can do that for any item that's in this screen. So I'm actually going to set my fishing rod to 3. And I'll set my bait to 4. Because why not? So there we go. You can switch between all of your tools. It's really cool. I actually really love that. So I can have all of my weapons on 1. Which is amazing. And all my tools on 2. And then my fishing rod on 3, which this is a bamboo fishing rod, which is kind of cool. Let's press 4. Now, you might be wondering, how the hell do I leave this island? How do I get to the other islands? Well, you can swim, but as you can see, your endurance goes down pretty quick. It is unlikely that you'll be able to get to another island unless it's really, really close, which none of these are, without some form of transportation. So to do that, you get near the water, you press B, and then you double-click on your boat. There's a couple different boats. Currently, I'm aware of 2. There's this particular boat, which is just a raft, and then there's an actual boat. So if I go into my crafting book, next page here, you've got the sailboat. So you got a sail raft, which is 7 logs, 2 cloth, and then a sailboat is 7 hardwood, 4 cloth. I don't have enough hardwood. I haven't found the hardwood. So at this point, we can explore the ocean, or I'm actually going to go and fish. I have never fished before. This is new. I don't know how this works. I actually don't know how to craft a fishing rod. I'm assuming we need bamboo of some kind. And I'm guessing the bob is going to bob. Oh, I caught a medium fish. Okay, that was actually really easy. I'm hoping that they expand that a little bit. I've said this for Minecraft, and I'll say it for this. I would love fishing to be kind of like a mini-game, kind of like The Legend of Zelda. And this seems like it's got a good possibility to do that. Where you have to actually just slowly pull it in. Although I do like that when you pull it in, it doesn't just, you know, fly at you and randomly hit somewhere. And usually go in the water. So that's kind of cool. Currently, though, there's also no cooking in the game. I have not found cooking in any way, shape, or form. Haha! I caught a small fish. So let's take a look at these fishes. Fishes. Where's my fishes? Fishes. Fishes? Fishy. Oh, fishes. Really? Okay. the icon is so small. They look like kind of small daggers or something, like a bone dagger. But that's cool. So this gives 50 food. This gives 150 food. And if you ever see me struggling up here, this is where my recording information is. So it's kind of covering part of the game, which is unfortunate. So that's cool. That's actually really quite cool. So let's get to sailing, because, well, that's what this game is, right? It's all about exploration. So to hit your sail up, you just, well, hit your sail up. That's about it. And then to steer, this is the best way I found to steer this thing. You hop on, and you can steer. You can steer it from anywhere, like you could stand here and steer, but the problem with this is you can't really see where you're going. Causes problems. Same thing with here, like you can see better obviously, but you still can't really tell. So I like to line myself up with the pole, and so far I have yet to fall off, so that's good. Actually, let's go to that island. That island seems like a good island to go to. So it's just a matter of sailing there. That's it. Keep yourself on course. So far I have not seen anything dangerous in the water. The water seems to be a fairly safe place. There are... That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to look over there, because it almost looked like there was a whirlpool. Although I really like the waves. I don't remember there being waves like this in the previous version. So that is really quite cool. Almost looks like there's a castle on the top there. We might be running into something really interesting and really dangerous. Right now, I'm not a fan of the combat. I found the combat to be very difficult. I find it really hard to hit the people, and they hit like Mack trucks. It is brutal. Yeah, it's just trees. Just far distance trees. I would really like a map. A map would be nice. And I'm hoping that's something that you can craft in the future. And there we go. You don't have to put the thing away. And you cannot pick up your boat. You just leave it. That's pretty much it. But if you press B and you double click it again, the wiki and everything says it teleports to you. I just say you drop another one and this one despawns. But, you know, whatever works for you. Whatever floats your boat. Get it? Get it? Anyway. A little bit more about the boat is right now we're kind of docked. Oh, well, now he's on the water, but there we go. We're kind of beached. In order to get back on the boat, you need to get it in the water. So you push it, and it's just the E button. You just press E, and then you hop on the boat with E. That's all there is to it. You don't really need to put it back. And then you got another island to explore. Let's get my sword out, because you never know what is around the corner. I follow the developers on Twitter. This is by Lava Boot Studios. And I remember a mention about a spider. There's apparently some giant spider thing. I thought that was like a Yeti thing, but that's just logs. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Alright, pick you up. Just a log. Look at that. Just sprawling forests. So beautiful. It really is very lovely, even though it is very, very early. Like, I can tell that not everything is done. It's not gone through the spit and polish phase, but it's already tremendously well designed, tremendously playable, and it's only $15 off their website. It is not currently available on Steam, though they do have a Greenlight campaign, which, from last I heard, was around 50%. So they do need your help getting it on Greenlight, so definitely go and vote yes on Greenlight for this. I did. Definitely a decent game. If you want something that's more exploration in your survival than, you know, the typical survival horror, which I'm not a real big fan of survival horror, but I love the exploration in Minecraft. And I loved Wind Waker. The feel of exploration, the massive openness that you had was just awesome. And I've heard this described as Wind Waker, survival Wind Waker, I guess. And I have to agree. It really is. It's got a lot going for it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do in the future with it. But I am going to have to end it here. I'm pretty much reaching my limit of ability to play this. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, or add me to your Google Plus circles. I also have a Patreon campaign going on. Feel free to support me on there if you so desire.